Hi friends, thank you so much for coming back to craft with me today. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Alyssa. Today we're going to be making this tall and skinny scrapbook folio album, and we're just going to be using plain colored 8.5 by 11-inch paper as well as some pattern paper just to cover it up. So for this, I actually found these cute little paper sets from Dollar Tree. And so I used this one here just to decorate my album. And these are all of the papers that you get. These are around like 6 by 8. They're actually specifically 5.83 by 8.27 inches. And this is everything that you get. So you get 3 vellum papers with foil. You get 2 glitter papers, 2 foiled papers, 3 solid colored papers, 3 pattern papers, and then 3 more pattern papers with some foiling on those as well. So I thought this was a pretty cool find. I got one more that I'm gonna use in today's project, but I just wanted to show you this one. So for my album here, this measures 4.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I just put collect memories right on the front there. So these little ephemera pieces are actually from Joann's. But a lot of the stuff that I did use in here is actually from Dollar Tree. So we'll start off here with the side pocket. And I just created this insert with the Dollar Tree paper. So I thought this was good writing space. And I added "Let's Celebrate" and some flowers down below. But there's that foiled paper in the background. So we've got that side pocket here first. And then we'll open it up and you can see, or you will see, that I covered up some of the panels here with just some of these sheets from various list pads that I had. They were perfect fits. So this one I just have "Make Yourself Proud" at the top. Over here, I have one of these coin envelopes as a pocket. That's from Dollar Tree as well. It says "Follow Your Heart," and I just thought this was a cute little llama or alpaca, not sure which one it is, but I thought he was so cute. So in this pocket, I just made this tag with some flowers up there. Whoops, I'm knocking things over. We'll stick that back in. And then over here, we just have a bunch of pockets. So this is one big side pocket here. I made my own little insert with a sticker from Dollar Tree. And then over here, these are pretty much just 2 pockets. So I kind of just stuck smaller things in each of them. So this one says "Go Where Your Heart Takes You." And then this one is just a little card there. So I meant to leave the top open so that I could slip like maybe a really tall tag in there, but I kind of like how it came out like this. So you could just stick maybe smaller things in each pocket like that. Got some stickers there. And then this side does flip open as well, or you can kind of just pull it out like this. So there's another list pad sheet there for writing. Over here, I thought I would put a small photo. So I kind of just made this photo mat. And this would be a really great album too for bigger photos like 4x6 or anything smaller than that. So that part we can just fold back in, and then this part flips out like that. So over here, look at this beautiful glittery paper. Love that. And then I used the vellum from the paper set as well, just to create a vellum pocket. I have "Shine Like the Whole Universe Is Yours," and then just this tag here that says "Sunshine." And then my last little sheet here just for some more journaling space. So really this whole album kind of just expands and you get so much space here for photos and journaling and writing, and that's the whole album. So let's go ahead and grab some paper and we can create one together. So this was the other pack that I got from the Dollar Tree. I don't think they have names. I don't see any, but this one had more floral prints and earthy tones. So I'll be using this one today. And by the way, the paper itself, in case you're curious, is pretty good quality paper. It's definitely thicker than like printer paper or computer paper, but it's not a heavyweight cardstock. But it does have like a good medium weight to it, in case you were wondering. So I'm going to start off with just my plain 8.5 by 11 inch paper. You're just going to need 3 of them. So I just have 3 white ones. These are like a medium weight cardstock, but honestly, you could probably use computer paper or a thinner paper for the base of this, since we're covering it up with pattern paper as well. So I have 3 here. We're just going to take 2 and we're going to score these the same way. We're going to hold them at the 11-inch side. All right, and then we're going to score these at 2 and 6.5. So 2 and 6.5. Just like this, and we'll do that as well for our second one. So we have 2 and 6.5, like that. And then let's just take this one. So we're gonna just take the smaller 2-inch section here and fold that in. And then we're gonna just take our other score line here and we're gonna fold this section in over top as well. So that'll be our front cover and it'll open like this. Now we're gonna take our other sheet that we scored the same exact way. And again, we're just gonna fold the little 2-inch section in. All right, and then this score line, we're actually gonna fold back now. So just fold that side to the back. So we are just going to be left with this pretty much. And then we're going to bring back this piece here. And we're going to attach these 2 pieces together now. So this one, I'm basically going to glue to the left panel here, like that. So just this back piece is going to get attached to the left panel there. So what I'm going to do is grab my glue, and this is where I created my side pocket in the front. So what I want to do here is just glue 1, 2, and then 3 edges to create a side pocket. Okay, and then take back this other piece, and this panel here we're just going to put right over top. And then just kind of close up the whole album and make sure it's nice and nestled in there and that everything's lined up how you want it to be. Okay, so we're gonna have that side pocket here once everything's dry. And then we're gonna have this pretty much. This part kind of opens out, and then we have that flap there. So this is what we have so far. We're gonna set this aside to dry. And then we're gonna bring back our last 8.5 by 11. And then at the 11-inch side, we're gonna cut at 4.5. So I'm just gonna shift this down and cut it off at 4.5. So now we just have this sheet here. And let's just start with this piece first. So pretty much this sheet is going to get glued behind this little flap here. And then this is going to create a side pocket like that. I do kind of want to cover up the background first before I glue it, but that's pretty much where that piece is going. So I'll just stick it there for now. And then with the remainder of this, we're going to be left with a 6.5 by 8.5 piece here. And then we just want to score at 4.5 at the short 6.5-inch side. So here we are. We're going to score at 4.5. And then I'm just going to fold this right over. Like so. I'm going to bring back my album just to show you where this piece is going to go. But it's basically just going to go behind this flap now. And we'll glue this down to create our two little side pockets that looked like this here. So there's our little side pocket there, and then these two will become these two pockets. And then of course, after everything's glued together, this part's going to flip out as well. So before I glue this sheet behind here and then this one behind here, I do want to just cover up the background. So just like this portion and then this little portion in the middle that's going to show. So I'm going to grab a paper from the paper set. I'm just going to grab a solid colored paper here, and these are all single-sided papers, by the way, but I'm going to use this to cover this little section here and then this piece too, because I don't need to cover up like the whole entire panel. I just want to cover up what's showing. So this is like almost 6 inches wide. So I'm just going to cut this to like 3. And these papers were already, they were a little over 8.25 inches tall. So I don't even need to cut anything else with these papers, which is great. They're great for this project. So I'm just going to take this piece here and I'm going to cover up this side. So see, you still get that border around your edges there. And then when I go to glue it underneath this flap, that's what's going to show. So I don't really need to cover up the whole thing. So I'm going to start with that first. And I'm just going to glue this piece on, hoping not to confuse you guys, but I just want to get this paper on before I obviously glue the album together. So we've got that. Okay, so this was the sheet that was going behind here. I'm going to move my scoreboard now. Actually, it's kind of in the way. So Before we glue this down, you want to just kind of close up your album as well and make sure that everything's kind of even on this side, because you might have some of the paper poking out. So if that happens, I just like to cut off a little sliver of this side. And I'll just do it with my scissors. So I'll just cut off a little piece and then kind of just put that underneath, close it back up and see what it's going to look like. That's a much better fit because there's not a lot poking out the side there. So if you have to adjust your edges, that's totally fine too. So now we're going to attach this flap. So I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to glue the top edge, the side here, and the bottom just to create that pocket. So right there, right here, and then right at the bottom. And then I will slide this sheet right underneath and bring that over. Close this up again just to double check. And then we're going to let that dry. And let's move on to this side here. So this was the other portion of that sheet that I cut off. And I'm just going to basically like glue this right in the center of this sheet here, because obviously those flaps are going to go over top and we're not going to see the sides. So let's do that. And I'll pop this in the center. So if you don't have this paper, you can just cut out like a little strip that's maybe 2 or 3 inches wide by 8 1/4. And that should be a great fit. Okay, so we have that. And then we're gonna just attach it, put these 2 flaps down. And then before you glue it, again, just close your whole album and make sure that everything fits and closes nicely. If it doesn't, you can always, again, just cut off a little sliver of this piece here. But mine fits pretty perfectly. So what I'm going to do is just take this flap now, flip it over, and do the same thing and glue these 3 edges. Or you can leave the top open if you want. But we'll start with that, and then I'll stick my paper right next to it and just put this flap right over top. All right, and then we'll just have this flap left, which we can glue down as well. And with this one, you just have to glue the top here and the bottom. All right, so I'm just going to close everything up now. Bring it back to the front and we'll just do a little flip through here. So we've got that side pocket here. it's going to open up and we've got these two panels. We've got a side pocket here, and then you can expand that. You've got two side pockets here, and then that part flips out as well. And that's the whole album. So now I'm going to just go through some of the papers in the Dollar Tree paper set. And I'm just going to cover up all my blank spaces. So here are the measurements for the pattern papers that you're going to need for the main pages, which is like the cover, you know, these pages here, they're all going to be the same size of 4¼ by 8¼ And then it depends on, well, I guess it just depends how many of these sheets you'll need, because maybe you don't want to cover up the whole thing with patterned paper like how I'm going to do. Or how I did with my first one too. Like I used these kind of sheets from a list pad or something. You could do something like that. But for the pockets, which are these three right here, you'll just need 3 strips of paper that are 1¾ inch by 8¼ So those you'll definitely need 3 of. I'm not sure why this is not sticking. There's still glue. There's enough glue, but let's start with the cover. I've already actually cut out 2 sheets here that are this size, so this one will fit perfectly on my cover. And you still get that nice border. And then this one I'll stick on the back. Perfect. Then we'll go to the inside here. And I'm going to do the same thing and maybe just glue one of these sheets on. And then this was another pattern paper from the paper pad. Okay, for these pockets, I am actually able to use up one whole sheet of this from the Dollar Tree paper set. So I'm just going to cut this into 3 strips that are 1¾ inch wide. And again, this paper is a little bit more than 8¼ tall, so I don't even need to cut it any further than that. And these will just cover up my pockets here. All right, so we have that, and then we just have these other panels to cover up. So I'll start over here. I'm going to do the same kind of layout. Here's another pretty patterned paper with some foiling. Again, great spot for photos. Then I'm going to open it up this way. And over here, I'm going to do a layout like this, but I want to use some of the vellum from the paper set and just create a vellum pocket. So this part I kind of just eyeball, and I'm going to cut this down maybe to 4.5 by almost 6 inches wide. And I'm not even going to score this. What I'm gonna do is just kind of place it at the bottom here of this beautiful glitter paper. And I'm gonna just flip this over to the back now. And I'm just gonna pop some glue on the back on one side here, and then just fold over the vellum. And then let me make sure this is straight. Okay. Then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side, pop some glue, and then fold over the vellum. So I'm kind of just wrapping it around the back here. And then I'll just kind of cut out the bottom corners and just glue this piece as well. You're not going to see the back, obviously, so if it looks like junk, that's okay. We're just trying to wrap that around the bottom there, so we get our cute little vellum pocket in the front. And then we can just glue this whole piece to our album. And I'm going to place it right here. And of course, this one's going to go on that panel. So that is everything for the album, at least in terms of covering it up. I think this video is long enough, so I'm probably not going to do the decorating on camera, but we have tons of pockets, tons of space for writing and journaling, photos. You can even add plenty more pockets on these pages here. We've got more pockets and interactivity. So lots of fun little spots here to do some memory keeping. And I'm really happy that I got to feature some of these Dollar Tree papers. It's not sponsored at all, but these were just a really cool find. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this project today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more crafty fun and inspiration, and leave me a comment down below. I will see you very soon in my next video, so happy crafting and huge hugs!